Hello, entrepreneurs. Joe DeChara coming to you live from downtown Flushing, New York. Once again, from the hot downtown Flushing, Queens, New York. It is really hot. I don't know if you can see the sweat dripping down, but it's not actually dripping down. It feels like it's summer, and it's actually almost a little bit normal with people and kids outside playing and hopefully not getting sick. So I'm still staying inside as much as I can, and I'll deal with the heat. If you don't know me, like I said, my name is Joe DeChara. I am a serial entrepreneur with a CPA license. I love working with solopreneurs, new business owners, and I try to teach people how to make business simple. Okay, I can't make it easy. I had 3 conversations with clients today about trying to make it easy. There is no way, it's impossible. But we could try to make it simple, uncomplicated, and hopefully fun and profitable for you. And so this show we call this, let me see if I don't know if I changed the name again. Oh yeah, here it is. How you can win at business. And it was how to win at business, and then I changed it to how you can win at business, and then I changed it to how you can win big at business. But I found out yesterday that URL is taken. So I'm back to how you can win at business. And I might just change it to the Joe DeChara show at some point. But either way, the content is going to stay the same. And tonight, once in a while, I like to interview some new friends. And I just met another new interesting friends. It's like, I can't believe that staying in the last 3 months, I've met more people, more interesting people than in the past 10 years. So I don't know what that's all about, but I met Anna, I think about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, and she does this stuff that I didn't even know existed. Like, she's going to talk about what she does, but it's amazing. And she's got some activities coming up. She's got a class coming up, and she's got this other product. I don't know if she's going to talk about it, but I see her below me smiling, and I'm going to bring her on. Let's see if I can work this. Oh, there she is. Hi, Anna. Anna Champagne. How are you?
Hello. Good, great. How are you? I've
So
also been patting myself. I'm here in
yeah,
Florida.
we both have it's needed. I refuse to put the AC on.
Well, I live in Florida, so we have to have the AC on.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But nobody told you to move to Florida. Unless you were born there.
I'm from New England, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a lot of friends in Florida, and yeah, it's beautiful. What part of Florida?
I'm in Sarasota, right on the Gulf. So
nice.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Nice.
But I used to do shows years ago, right in your neck of the woods in New York, when I lived in New England. So I know it well, too.
What, like the trade shows?
Yeah, a lot of Whole Health, New Life. I mean, this was after, my life of hand painting on fine silk threads. We'll get into all that, I think, but of what I do.
Okay, is that because of, textiles? Is that because I know that there's a whole, like, in New York City, there's a whole, like, buildings that's all they do.
That's true. And in my first, iteration of my lifetime as a fiber artist, I used to paint on really fine silk threads, weave them into scarves and shawls and wall pieces. I have a BFA in textiles from Boston University. And I used to do shows around the country with my warp painted hand woven silks. And then I had children and started just painting just directly on silk and got into the holistic healing field. Became a transformational breath facilitator and trainer. So that's when I was doing shows in New York, like Whole Health, New Life, body, mind, spirit kind of shows. And it was my
You just basically let out the whole mystery about what I wanted to talk about. I was going to go through like one little step at a time.
I know.
I don't know if you covered everything.
No,
but,
not at all.
So the first thing is, is like, what is a fiber artist? I never heard of this. Did you make that up? Is
I did
there
not.
real?
Yeah,
So explain what a fiber artist is.
it's a textile artist. But it's, there's people who work in the industry, creating the design for the fabrics that you wear and all the textiles in our homes and things. And then a fiber artist is one who uses still the same technology of weaving and surface design, pattern design, but actually creates it by hand
So,
and as an art form of sorts. Yeah.
okay, so if I buy something in the store, that's not fiber art, right? I
No,
mean, it wasn't. Are you saying like you would do like a master and then they would just mass produce it?
no, I actually create it from the source. So.
Okay, so you do. So this is like custom made stuff,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Like what I'm
And
wearing
you're
now.
actually painting. You're actually painting the threads.
I used to paint on the threads. I have some over there, but I used to paint on the actual silk threads and then weave them into scarves and shawls and wall pieces. And they were everywhere from, Madison Avenue to California, to Carmel and galleries. And then I stopped doing the weaving part and then I just started painting directly on the silks. So like this one, this is, hand painted. So the silk scarves are just painted one at a time. And then the solid color silks that I do are dyed in dye baths. But
Okay, so that's why I thought that all of these materials were just dyed. So
they're hand painted with dyes. So when I say hand painted, the difference
okay,
is I'm mixing up the dye from scratch. It's really chemistry. It's pretty fancy
really?
recipes. And
So
then
can you hold up that scarf again a little? I just because
yeah,
you
this is
my thing.
one,
Wow. So
and I've
and
got.
you painted that.
Mm-hmm. But
See,
I'm
for
having the
somebody
more
like me,
elaborate ones here in my studio. Big custom
right?
fabrics, a lot more colors, things like that.
And now, how long does it take you to make one of those?
It really depends because there's a lot of phases with it. The prepping of the fabric, the soaking in the solution, mixing up the dyes, stretching it on the frames. It's even after painting it and letting it dry a certain time, it's really chemistry so that you have to even wash it in a certain temperature, use certain, detergents to wash it out. It's just quite a process. So, it might not take, that long to paint each one, but then all this different steps. So then I'll like batch it.
Right.
So
So I'm just wondering if this is a business. Do you sell these?
oh, I've been selling them for 25 years of these.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Stupid me. How much, if I can ask, how much does a scarf like that cost?
The hand painted range from 125 to 425 for the big shawls. And then,
Wow.
big custom fabrics can go,
So that's not like, if you told me I have a friend she's like a Disney artist,
mm-hmm.
and she was going to make like a porcelain, one of a kind pocketbook
Mm-hmm.
for my daughter for her wedding.
Oh,
and
wow.
it was she wanted $10,000. And, if I could afford it, I'm just thinking I could see I would get the box and drop it and then it would break. But so how do they order like custom from you?
Sometimes, basically I've had my main line, like this one, this is one of the main ones I wear too. Like this is, a charmeuse silk. So like
Okay.
this one you could see there's like a pattern woven in.
Right.
And of course I have a lot of other color ranges, but these two lines of a jacquard and then the charmeuse have been in my line for, probably 25 years.
Okay.
And then like right now I'm, in a new space. So I'm switching over this studio this week to set up my new dye table and dye studio because I do have a commission for a big shawl and another scarf, and then I'll just be doing my own that people just buy from my website, things like that. So
So I might have a client for you. I don't know if you do this, but she's trying to like brand her message, and she's doing it like through clothing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all like, and she's putting like powerful, it's for women, and she's looking for, she might, I don't know if that would be a good fit for you, but she's looking for like quality stuff that,
Yeah, and
you
actually, I've been selling to a lot of women entrepreneurs and business women who are, branding their colors and things, and it's usually the colors that they're, most drawn to anyway, and they're putting in all their marketing materials, and then they're getting the silks that, we haven't even gotten to the
yeah,
energy healing part of it that bring more energy, but
right.
using
So,
colors that are part of their branded system. So,
so that's the next thing. Like I know, what is it, feng shui.
mhm,
Like I have a friend, she's a feng shui, and
mhm.
she's telling me about these colors. But I always thought feng shui was more like the positioning, to get the energy at maximum potential. And I could understand that. But now you tell me that you do healing with
Mhm.
colors. So first you're painting fibers. I never heard of that, and now you're healing people.
Yeah, and the
So
way I
how
feel
does
about
that
it,
work? And is that really what direction your business has taken now, that you're more into healing?
I have been into it for a long time. So, I've been a fiber artist for probably 35 years, but then the last 25 were with the hand painted silks. And then, like I was saying, I um, was a transformational breathing facilitator and trainer. And now I do emotion code. And, I've trained in some different energy healing modalities. But as I was like doing shows, as I described, and, was talking about the healing work, and I was always selling my silks, I started to see over these, more than 2 decades, what the color healing silks that I call them now were doing in people's energy fields. So now I've been branding my own color healing system, and I've been teaching it, and getting it more out there in that way.
So is this something that you've developed?
Um,
I mean, the color. I mean, is there like like a cult that just do color healing, or
uh,
is this, because that sounds pretty amazing?
yeah, I mean, people have used color for healing, for a long, long time, many centuries and things. A lot of times they've been working with color affecting your chakras, your energy systems in the body, and there's colors related to that, things like that. But so even though these silks do affect your chakras and things, my system is based a little differently. And just to tell you how it works, like the silks have the highest vibration of fiber, and then the pure frequencies of color. See, basically color is, light, off of objects. So if you have like white light, it's all the colors. And then it diffuses, like, people know the rainbow, it's diffused,
Right.
or even through a prism. And then you get the different frequencies of light. So, so I'm putting these like pure frequencies in through the color into the silks, and then the energy that I'm putting in as well. People say I'm kind of praying it in, through positive intention, and, just a really positive environment. So they do carry a real tangible energy. I've had, been at, used to do shows. I'm not doing as many now. I'm trying to, work more online, and especially these days, of course, but I have been doing that for a long time. And, people would, run over across the convention center and say to my potential client, customer, you have to buy that one, that's the one. And we go, we know. And the reason we know is because it's what I call activation. Like, it activates in your own energy. So when you find the right one or ones, there could be, for different times, but it's noticeable. Just like, I may have some here and I could put it on, and it wouldn't look as vibrant. So we're energy beings, our thoughts are energy, our emotions, our organs, we're all at, we're vibrating at different frequencies. So what color healing is taking color and light and affecting our own energy in hopefully a positive way. Because in the negative, you know, we know what it feels like to be in a, you know, dingy gray, you know, or even a dark gray weather. You know, it kind of doesn't lift our spirits. You know, it kind of can bring us down.
Now, okay, so now that makes sense to me.
Okay.
Okay, you go outside and it's cloudy, and then you start feeling, oh my God, you don't know why you feel, but
Right.
it's okay. So, you know, and I keep running into people that are talking about energy and how it, you know, I had a woman, who was it, Victoria Shaw. She does, oh no, I think I lost you. So anyway, if we lost Anna, I'll continue. So this woman, Victoria Shaw, was the intuition lady, and she talked about the feelings that you get in your gut. And that was one thing. Let me see what I'm going to do now until Anna comes back. Let me see what happened with her. And this is one of those times, folks, where I talked about my training with my friend Craig Doswalt, Axl Rose's former assistant. He toured with, and I only say that so that you know who some of my friends are. Anyway, so Craig taught me and plenty of other people that stuff happens when you, especially when you're doing a live broadcast. And I know that we have millions and millions of people watching. Actually, I'm in here. And if you are watching, give me a, what do they want to give me, Haley? A hashtag live. And if you're watching the replay, let's go with a hashtag replay. And I see Marilyn and Haley. So Marilyn Slinkman is an unbelievable. She crafts these pearl jewelry things. And let me see. We got Anna back here. Hi, Anna.
Apologies. Yeah, my apologies. That was
You left me hanging. So now I have to finish the story.
Yeah.
Because what Craig taught me, and actually my own experience, is when you're doing this stuff, is a 98% chance that something is going to go wrong. And so I'm just mentioning this because 6 or 7 months ago, I couldn't do this because I'd be afraid of what if something goes wrong. But now it's just like, it's really not that big a deal. I'm pretty proud of myself, Anna.
I've actually come through the same evolution, Joe. You know, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I was all nervous every time. And now that I'm getting more comfortable and, you know, just showing up, it's like, you know.
I actually got in my mind that nobody's actually watching. It doesn't matter. Only to find out later that people do watch this.
Yeah.
But, you know, anyway, this is me. I'm transparent. I'm glad you made it back. I was going to show them the website and everything. But so where were we? You were talking about, this is where we were. I keep running into people like you that have all these, the common theme is energy. And it's almost like a constant reminder, listen, that, and life really happens at, you know, somebody told me it happens at a spiritual level. And then we, you know, and I just look at that as like Napoleon Hill said, it was this ether or the universe, but it's energy. That's how I describe it. And there are things that pull it in and push it. There has to be. There has to be. So I believe, you know, and we were talking about when you go outside and it's cloudy out and you get, so how can we, you know, so like I'm looking in my room. I got this ugly white wall. I've been thinking about painting it. I think it's affecting my, my happiness. Because I'm more happy like outside. I walk in here. I'm kidding.
No, I can tell you why about that, because that's part of my system, and it is, you know, very spiritually based, but it's actually, you know, bringing it here to earth. You know, here we're a body. So with my color healing system, it is based on these kind of rays of God consciousness, if you will, but it's just the kind of spiritual energies, and they're actually these divine qualities associated with the colors that are embodied by the archangels. So even if people don't, go that direction of knowing more about the angels and things, they can still work with the divine qualities as embodied. So, like, for example, most of us have heard of Archangel Michael, right?
Yes.
And we think, protection, but he's just this beautiful, like sapphire blue, like, some of these colors that I'm wearing right now. But in addition to like protection, when we use the blue that way, it's also focus and will and faith and confidence and, a lot of these qualities. So that's what I actually teach and work with in my color healing course, and in, really with all the silks, because they're, once you consciously use color that way and know, because a lot of times we're just intuitive anyway, people go, and I've seen you in, those wonderful pink top shirts and, things like that. So, you're no stranger to, nice colors and everything.
That's because my girlfriend picks those out. I just always wore white or black. It was easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, you're right, because when I put on different shirts, and I don't know if it's for the color or the brand, but you do feel better.
Mm-hmm.
But now I want to go back to what you were saying about the shows, and people like just knew what their color was. Like, how do you, and I think I know what you're going to say, but there must be a way to say, these are my colors. And do people actually have colors?
Well, people are drawn to certain colors and even averse to other colors. Some colors even agitate people, or just make them not comfortable. And then other ones that, are our go-to colors, the ones that we feel the most comfortable in. So like in doing shows, I would have the silks, all draped. And when people would come into my booth, they would, even though I could probably know, I would usually know what would be an advantageous color for them. I'm a teacher and healer, so I always want to empower people. So I would say, well, what color are you most drawn to? And sometimes they, take a little time, and sometimes they're like, they just beeline it right over, and we, put it on them. And then we could actually take even another one that's very similar in colors, and then we'll put it on them, and they can feel the difference. And these are even people that say, oh, I don't know about energy, and I'm not sensitive to the color. They don't think they know. But when it comes down to it, because even in New York years ago, there was a woman that came in to the booth. This was decades ago. And she's like, what's all this about color and, energy? And so we put one on her, and she was like giddy for 5 minutes. Really, she could feel it. So, and then, and then there's, I do a contrast. I put on one that might not be as advantageous, and they're like, oh, wow, I can feel the difference.
Wow. So that's like when you go shopping, and I could understand this. Some things just don't feel right.
Right.
You're like, I don't know, it looks good, but it just doesn't feel right. And so that's part of it. It has to be, right?
It is.
Like, I just don't feel like I look good in this. Like this color doesn't match my skin.
Yeah, okay. But it's even more than that. A lot of people say, oh, I can't wear this color because of my skin color. And sometimes it can be a little true. Sometimes yellows are hard for more people to wear, but when you're really needing that color yellow, you don't even always have to wear it. With these silks, you can drape it around a vase of flowers. You can have it in your space.
Okay.
I sell a lot to men as well, for meditation silks, men and women, that just put them on because they also help to raise your vibration and also energetically insulate you in kind of this cocoon. Like a friend calls it, he meditates a lot, and he's commissioned a lot of the big meditation blankets. And actually I have another one that I'm doing for him this week. And he calls it like an energetic cocoon, and it makes it easier to meditate, to access those higher, subtler vibrations, because you're kind of insulated that way. And to tell you the truth, I wear it a lot for the same reason, being a sensitive and empath. In 25 years, I don't think I've gone out of the house without a silk, and I even wear them to the beach. Of course, I quickly take them off.
I saw that picture of you on the beach. It looked nice.
Yeah.
Didn't you just post something on Facebook? I think were you with your daughter or something?
Yeah, a lot of times we go on Sundays.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm jealous. So, you know, this is really fascinating, and I know we could go into a couple of other things that you're doing, but you talked about empowering people.
Yeah.
And, you know, to me, when you could teach people something, that's a chance to empower them. And you have this course that you're teaching now, right? Color healing.
Right, and actually, just to go a little more into the healing aspect, you could, if you want to, you know, show that, or we could
that's
talk
okay.
about it. Yeah. Sure. The thing with healing, and I work mostly in helping people heal their emotional body. So, you know, we all have, you know, experiences in life. You know, sometimes they're overwhelming, sometimes they're really joyful, and sometimes they can be really traumatic as well. Or just, we might not just have the tools to process something at the time, or we might experience something and, you know, it affects us more than we realize. So then these emotions get trapped in our energy field as these kind of balls of emotion. And what happens then is it causes a blockage in our whole energy flow, and that'll affect our whole health. You know, it'll affect, you know, how we're viewing the world. Like, you know, this is a show, you know, on business. So if we have areas, you know, like I worked actually with a businessman friend of mine, and, you know, through this thing when, you know, the whole pandemic started, and they have a business, he and his wife have a business that's really dependent on being out there, you know, and with restaurants and things. And so we did a session, and we actually accessed an experience that he had quite a while ago with his family, and a business that kind of had some challenges, put it that way. I won't, you know, go into details, you know, but it affected him. And then, so when more of, you know, the fear and, you know, anxiety, uncertainty that so many people are experiencing now, more of that came up. Once we were able to heal it kind of at the source and what the specific emotions were, then, you know, he was able to, you know, really move forward. And he and his wife, you know, pivoted and adjusted, and they're going in some exciting new directions now because of it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, you know, you explained something that I heard. Actually, I think my girlfriend told me this, that we have these experiences. Mm-hmm. And just like you said, they come into our body, we hold them in, and the stressful ones actually manifest in our body and become like knots in our muscles. And I know this because she took out I had a lot of knots. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of repressed stuff.
Right.
But I believe, you know, because if the energy's coming in, and it just makes sense, you know, if you're tensing up. And then what she explained is it affects your blood circulation.
Absolutely.
So all of this with the energy coming in, and so are you saying like this course is going to help you release that negative energy?
That's kind of my specialty, and I do it through this means of beauty and, you know, educating on color, and then the silks, you know. So in the course, it by using the different colors, you know, you'll get a set of 7 silks. So you have one for each week that we work on, and those actually, you know, the different qualities. And like, say for example, you know, we have a beautiful pink silk, which is, you know, what we would expect, you know, unconditional love, compassion, you know, creativity, things like that. And whenever we have experiences that we've kind of shut down our heart, you know, just things that have hurt us through the years, and things that we might not have fully processed, or we may have thought we did, but there's still remnants, and we know that they're remnants when it comes up to the surface. And right now, you know, globally, we're having a lot come up to the surface, And even though it seems like a, scary, uncertain time, it's actually, I believe, a real blessing if people can look at it that way, to see, well, what's coming up and how can I work with it? And, how can I, heal myself or make the changes to have the, the life that I want. So it really is a great opportunity. So like, for example, we might, the colors, I often say, like, a certain color is an antidote to something else. So like, say pink is an antidote to like grief and sadness, to bring it to the other side of just more unconditional love. Or, in a practical, like more business oriented in terms of, we might have procrastination, in any area of our life, really. And
Right.
once we transmute that energy, we can turn it into motivation. And then we have more energy for the projects and things that we want to put our energy into.
Yeah.
Things we want to create.
It makes sense. So now, when does this class start, and how do people sign up for it?
It actually starts next Monday, and we do
Okay.
have spots available. Yeah, if you scroll through this, you can see some more of just the pieces, and they can, I'll send them, more information. We could put some links down below, or they could just contact me. And here, we go into the benefits of color healing. And
I mean, I just feel better like looking at I might just look at your website every day. No, this is beautiful. This is really.
Yeah, thanks.
Wow.
And those are a lot of the silks that you get with the class and that we go through.
So what are these stones? Do they come with the class?
They don't, but crystals also are something that they resonate at a certain frequency too.
Okay,
so like,
I didn't. So those are crystals.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so you're gonna have 8 weeks of group calls. How many people can you have in the class?
Right now, it's going to be no more than 10 or 12. It's a small group right now that's just forming.
I like that.
So you get a lot of really, and it's weekly Zoom calls, but then you get the modules, the recordings, and we do meditations. And I've made this for, people that are really busy. We're all really busy, and I don't want to add more stress. I'm helping to relieve people's stress. So by just, wearing the silks during the meditations, during the class, during the week, then you can start, learning about how it can, support you and everything that you're doing. And even the meditations are maybe 7 minutes to, under 10 minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, so that you can fit them in easily. But that doesn't mean they're, any less, helpful and profound that way.
What's the URL for this?
It is
Anna Champagne Silks.
.com/color/healing/or-course. We'll put the link down.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to do that? I was going to put it in. Okay.
Sure. You can.
You got Haley Gray was watching. I don't know if she's still watching.
Yeah, she's a good friend. She's an amazing.
Yeah. So that's the link to Anna Champagne's color healing course. And do you take men in your classes?
I do.
It's got, yeah. I don't know if I would do that. It's not really up my alley, but it looks like fun.
Yeah, and
really,
I do private sessions too and things like that. So
I was going to ask you, do you ever do like workshops? Like I know people that do like vision board workshops. I don't know if this is something you could do like in an afternoon.
I have done mini workshops, and I actually had a master class last week that was, online to teach, about the basics of this. So yeah, I definitely teach in different forms.
Very cool. So, I never heard about fiber art, and I never heard about healing colors. I'm just wondering, how come nobody tells me this stuff? I'm like, what? I got to find this all out by accident. And it's pretty cool, because like I said, the last couple of months, I'm just meeting a lot of interesting people that do stuff that I never even knew existed.
Mm-hmm.
So, if anything, that's one of the positives that have come out of this. So we're almost out of time, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
So other than the class, do you have anything else going on? Any words of wisdom for people that are listening?
The main thing is to just, honor what you're feeling and use that as a catalyst to say, of what, maybe it's telling you what you don't want, or maybe it's, showing you some past hurt or something that really needs to come to light and to be healed so that you can go forward. And it's just really important to keep getting clearer on what you do want to create. And, just use this, my main business is called the Path of Beauty. So it's really living that path of beauty because, like you said, we can have fun here and we can really enjoy life. We don't have to be so stressed. And, that's why I'm trying to do it through beauty. And, I do have a degree in interior design too. And that's maybe another show, but like you were mentioning feng shui, I do a lot, even beyond feng shui of the colors and things. And even like your colored walls, I consult with a lot of people to choose those kind of things. So it's all about energy and color and surrounding ourselves with beauty that supports us. So, yeah.
Yeah, what I think is what I love saying is when somebody takes what they love to do
Mm-hmm.
and can turn it into a business. And you've been doing it for a long, long time, so I commend you for that. A lot of people don't realize that they can.
Mm-hmm.
They can really almost take anything and monetize it, which
Right.
is, that's my hobby.
I
My
know.
hobby is trying to make people money, if that qualifies as a hobby.
Well,
But
it's anything that we're passionate about, and the core of it is helping others. Like what you do, it's about helping others. So when we're doing that, we're doing something that we love, and we're helping others. Then that's when it's abundant.
that's what I learned. What I was taught is how the universe expands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we just as my VA Elizabeth Frederick calls it the ripple, which I call it the ripple effect. But
Mm-hmm.
whatever you call it, we're on the same wavelength, right?
Absolutely.
So
Elizabeth too. She's darling. Yeah, she's very bright. She's very talented.
Yeah. Yep, I try to surround myself with people like that.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter told me if you're the smartest one in the room, you need to find another room. So, and she told me that when she was like 11.
Yeah, I'm always learning. Like, we were talking about another technology too that we don't have to go into detail here, but it's another frequency technology because, maybe this isn't for everyone, maybe everyone's not going to go get a silk or take my class, but I have some other, a new really exciting technology that works with frequencies as well. So it's all about healing and frequencies and
Well, yeah, and you did mention that to me. It looks fascinating. I haven't had the time to delve into it, but if you want to talk about it now, we have a couple of minutes left.
Yeah, sure. It's a technology out of Germany, and it's a global company, and it just launched in this country last month. Well, yeah, we're still in the end of June. And it's doing really well. And what it is a personal wearable technology, a frequency device. So even though it is a class 2 medical device of a microcurrent delivering specific frequencies for, pain, arthritis, depression, things like that, it's also on like an advanced program with it. It can actually be done distance and healing, which that's another piece. Even with my healing sessions and emotion code and all that, we can do distance healing. So there is an aspect of this that can be done that way as well. And I just ordered mine last night, so I'm really excited to get it and to help people that way and to help myself as well.
And I could see how this goes right in line with what you're already doing.
It is.
which
Yeah.
is another thing, I try to teach people. You could have your core, this is my business, but then you have other little side revenue streams, and it's perfectly aligned with what you do.
It
So
is. And
how do people get to talk to you about this? You want to put another link in the
sure.
chat?
Yeah, and they could just, reach out to me, and I could put some, links and information, but they could just, contact me and we can have a conversation. Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
And that's what I love about this too, because, I'm kind of a serial entrepreneur too. I like to help people. So I've always been finding products and services, that help people. And a lot of them have been really good, but they just haven't been so aligned. And that's why I'm excited about this one, because it really is speaking my language, truly.
Yeah.
The frequencies.
Okay. That's like when I came across the bookkeeping program, Wave Apps. It's like, oh my God, this is like, it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, now I'm a Wave Apps guy. I'm throwing QuickBooks out.
Cool.
I'm realigning. But yeah, that's great. Listen, I'm so happy that we met and we connected. And I'd love to have you back again, maybe after you do your class, and you can give us some. Is this the first time you're doing this class?
Yeah, this is the third time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So it must be working.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, what we were talking about earlier of color that you could like or dislike. Or so when one of my students got her set of silks, the ruby one, just kind of like she felt a little agitated or even angry, like there was just something that was bringing up something in her. And then by the end of the class, going through it and healing a lot of things in her life, by the end, she not only loved the colors, she painted her new office an accent wall in this bright, ruby fuchsia color. And in regards to that color, it's all about empowerment. So she had been healing a lot of things and wanted to take the next step in her business.
Maybe she didn't feel worthy or something, right?
Yeah, we won't go into her specifics, but worthiness, all of those kind of things are part of, what all of us have, varying aspects of these different emotions. And they're sometimes subtle too. We might say we're, a victim of something, and we really feel like a victim in some area of our life, say. But then when we start uncovering it, we see that it's like a pattern of where else are we feeling like disempowered or a victim. So then when you start recognizing the pattern and healing it, then it leads to really more, self-knowledge and awareness and empowerment.
This might seem a little, well, since I started doing more coaching, I find that a lot of people have issues with money.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm like, because I'm taking them down a path and then we just hit a wall. And I'm like, listen, if you don't do this, you're not going to make the money. So and I don't do mind stuff. I don't lift blocks, but it's amazing. And I had my own money issues. So these things, like, people don't realize, how those things are. So listen, we got a minute. I don't want to upset Haley Gray by going over my time slot. So this was a lot of fun. And how do people get you? Just Anna Champagne?
You can, Anna at Anna Champagne Silks, or even Anna at apathofbeauty.com. Either one, or
A Path of Beauty. That's easy to spell.
Yeah, that's yeah.
All right, Anna, thank you. That's our story. We're sticking with it. Joe DiChiara, book a free chat with me at, here we go, Time with Joe. I love playing with this stuff, Anna.
Thank you so much, Joe. It's always a pleasure. I always enjoy,
Yeah, I have fun doing this. Anyway, over and out, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.